My grandkids asked me the other day, Grandpa, what was it like growing up in the 70s? I said, you really want to know? They said, yeah, so I took away their phones, tablets, gaming consoles, Alexa, and turned off the Wi-Fi. 5 minutes later, one of them came into the living room looking pale. He said, Grandpa, the internet's gone. I said, I know, he whispered, is it forever? Like we were discussing a terminal illness. I said, no, but now you're gonna experience childhood. I handed them a popsicle, a bicycle, and said, get outside, don't come back until the street lights. Come on, they stared at me. One said, how will you know where we are? I said, I won't. He said, what if something happens? I said, then it'll be a surprise for all of us. That's how parenting worked in the 70s. Our parents didn't track us. They launched us every morning. They basically opened the front door and said, good luck, and somehow we survived. Today, parents have GPS tracking, smartwatches, location sharing, and security cameras. My mom had none of that. She had one tool. Yelling that woman could stand on the front porch and scream my name with enough power to interrupt weather patterns. If I heard my first name, I was fine. If I heard my first and middle name, I'd start writing my will and don't. Tell me kids today have it harder. When we were bored, our parents didn't entertain us. They'd say, go outside and find something to do. That was the entire mental health program. We'd leave the house at 9:00 a.m. and come back at dinner looking like we'd survived a war, covered in dirt, missing a shoelace, bleeding from somewhere. And our parents' response was, don't get blood on the carpet. That's it. No investigation, no paperwork, no trauma counselor. Then my grandson asked me, Grandpa, how did you know where your friends were without texting? I said, you looked for a pile of bicycles. He said, that's ridiculous. I said, maybe, but we found each other every single time. Then he got real quiet and said, honestly, Grandpa, your childhood sounds kind of dangerous. I said, maybe. He said, it also sounds kind of fun. And that's when I knew I'd won, because for the first time in his life, he voluntarily went outside. Of course, 10 minutes later, he came back in and asked, what's the Wi-Fi password? Again, some habits are stronger than nostalgia.